changing attitudes is a very difficult thing to do. Changing attitudes in the context of a prolonged, harsh, violent conflict is even harder because members of societies that are immersed in such conflicts are being socialized to hold very harsh views with regards to the adversary, with regards to the enemy, and very positive views with regards to their own group. The reason we started working on this project is because we thought that something must be done in order to try to promote a conflict resolution in the context of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And so we tried to come up with a different approach that uses some sort of a different principle in order to change the views of individuals that live in intractable conflicts in order to promote a peaceful conflict resolution. And so instead of trying to persuade people that the positions they hold are perhaps wrong or maladaptive, using inconsistent information as most interventions would have done, we actually try to do pretty much the opposite and tell people that we actually agree with their position, but in an amplified, exaggerated, or even an absurd manner, in order for them to realize perhaps that their views are maybe senseless, maybe don't make much sense, and eventually this can lead them to open themselves to alternative views and possibly at the end moderate their views. Paradoxical thinking is the attempt or a method of changing beliefs and attitudes using new, non-judgmental, relevant messages that are consistent with the held beliefs and attitudes, but are provided in an amplified, exaggerated, or even an absurd manner. The messages are meant to be understood and then are expected to arouse a sense of surprise or a sense of absurdity regarding the held views or beliefs or the current situation. And so we took the beliefs that many Jewish Israelis hold, people who we knew held conflict-supporting beliefs that basically preserve or maintain the continuation of the conflict. Instead of trying to persuade people that they are wrong, we try to just basically agree with them and exaggerate or amplify their views. We extrapolated from their views absurd conclusions. And so one of the very common views among Jewish Israelis, at least in the context of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, that Palestinians don't want us here. They don't want Jewish Israelis to live in Israel-Palestine. And so what we asked them is, why do you think the Palestinians want to kill us all, and this is a stronger need than other basic needs such as food and health? It's a very common view that we think that the Palestinians don't want to live with us in peace, but this is exaggerating it and showing maybe the absurdity of the situation. We found the paradoxical thinking interventions were effective in leading to more conciliatory views. What seems to be driving the effect is that the paradoxical thinking messages are surprising. So it leads people to focus more attention on the stimuli. They don't lead to too much resistance or disagreement, so people are willing to listen. And also the most important part is that it leads to what we call identity threat. People usually don't want to be held in this spot, so they change their views, they moderate their views, and so on.